A heartbreaker. A close 3-point loss for the Cleveland Browns here in Cleveland against the Buffalo Bills. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. We're going to break down what we saw. Bad news for Cleveland, though, that we're going to have to tell you about here. Not just the loss, but some pretty major bad news. And we were right there with Buffalo. I mean, we were in this football game. What a win it could have been for Cleveland, but they just can't pull it out. They haven't done it often this season. It almost felt like there was some magic in the air, some drops from the Bills receivers. A couple good offensive drives finally for Cleveland against Buffalo. I mean, did almost everything we could have asked for, but just fell short. Here is the worst part of it, and that is that Quinshon Judkins was carted off in this game, and we officially have report that he suffered a broken leg, sources say. Ian Rappaport telling us he's also being evaluated for a knee injury on top of the broken leg. And his season obviously is over. What's really more concerning here is when will Quinshon Judkins be back for the Cleveland Browns? Will he be the day one starting running back next year, or is this thing going to take multiple months? We'll monitor his situation. Make sure you're subscribed, because the minute we know something, I'm going to hop on here and tell you all the details and that situation. But just terrible news for Quinshon Judkins, who was doing a little bit more today before the injury. It was so bad they didn't even show it on the broadcast. I haven't even seen the replay yet, because they would not show it. As you know now, it is a broken leg. So we'll keep you posted on there. Let's show some love to Quinshon Judkins, though. If you want to wish him a speedy recovery, let's spam 10 in the comment section. I want to see like hundreds of 10s in that comment section. Show some love for Quinshon Judkins. Tough injury there for QJ, the star young rookie, behind a bad offensive line and an injured offensive line, as you guys may have seen. So not a pretty day for the Cleveland Browns. But look, there were some offensive flashes. Okay? I mean, there were some moments where you're like, this is a different feel. We had more first downs on our first drive than we did in the first half last week against Chicago. Like, I did see some good moments there, but then, of course, you get a couple interceptions. Like, one of them bats off of Judkins before he got hurt, gets intercepted. That one's not on Shedeur. Then Joey Bosa makes a ridiculous read, great play, knocks Shedeur's pass up in the air. That gets picked. So let's talk about Sanders' day overall, though. Okay, completion percentage, very good. That's about 69%. 20 of 29. Only 157 yards for Sanders, 1 touchdown, and the 2 picks that I just described for you guys. 64.9 quarterback rating. Rushing yards for the 3rd week in a row. Shedeur Sanders leads the Cleveland Browns in a game in rushing yards. Those 49 rushing yards. He was making plays with his legs, had a good first half, was decisive today. It looked a lot better. And then you get to the very end of the game, and it all falls apart. I mean, not necessarily Shedeur, but the whole Browns offense, once again, it goes back to what we've seen. The offensive line got embarrassed. Cam Robinson got embarrassed in some of the most crucial moments of this game. The final 2 plays for Cleveland, the final 3 plays, 0 time at all for Shedeur. He gets sacked on one of them, intentional grounding on the next one. Like, it's just impossible to do anything at some point for the Cleveland Browns. So, against Buffalo, more improvement for Shedeur. Not bad, but some good and bad once again from the rookie quarterback. Couple games left here for him to get a start, show us what he can do. Not great news overall for Cleveland, though, in today's game. I mean, we did get a close game at the very least. It was competitive. And like I said, you see some good plays from Shedeur. Actually, he had more passing yards than Josh Allen did. Right? So, again, it's just a difference in the quality of teams. And it felt like a game where he could have done enough to win. But a couple interceptions and everything else around him and the offensive line sold it at the end. The story of the season, folks. We're going to talk about the Browns' defense in this game as well. I got a lot to say about that. But first, want to give a special shout out to today's sponsor, that is Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It is all happening at once, and while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right, Prize Picks. I love this app. It's a lot of fun. I win money, and because I cover the Browns, it helps me know what picks to make. Now I know to take less on all of Cleveland Browns when we play a good defense. And everyone's favorite Prize Picks holiday promotion is back. 7 days of Pixmas. Prize Picks is giving out 7 days of deals all the way through Christmas Day, including a Christmas Day max discount. Pixmas starts December 20th, so download the app today and unwrap those deals. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. I'm winning money, at the very least, a silver lining of today's game, because James Cook had more than 15.5 yards as his longest rush. Started the game with a 44-yard touchdown. Judkins did have less than 70.5 rushing yards. Obviously, the very unfortunate injury played a part in that. And then Shedeur had more than half a passing touchdown to throw to Fannin. Got it done. That was my lineup. I'm winning. You can do the same. If you download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Myles Garrett got half a sack. Okay, they went and credited him with half a sack for a play where Josh Allen was touchdown in the end zone. Myles did everything he could to try to get a little piece of him, and he got it. He is 1 sack away from the NFL single-season sack record. Strahan set that in 2001. 22.5, that's the number to beat, folks. Our rival T.J. Watt got there in 2021, and Garrett sits at 22 sacks this year through 16 weeks. Half a sack will tie it. 1 full sack will get it done. I'm also hearing Quinshon Judkins dislocated his ankle and fractured his fibula. That is per Kevin Stefanski. He'll have to undergo surgery, so the news gets worse and worse for Cleveland and for Judkins. That literally just came in here for Quinshon Judkins, so tough scenes there. And I do want to talk about the offensive line a little bit, because I don't know if I can put into words, guys, how atrocious some of the film is on this unit up front. And I get it. It's a banged-up unit. It is not our day one starters. No. It's the backups to an offensive line that is bad. Dare one say worse, if you're worse than the bad starters. I mean, you're backing them up, and now you got to come in and block for a quarterback. Like, seriously. We have no chance. We have no chance with that unit. We have no chance. I don't care who you put back there. Football's won in the trenches. You need to load up on offensive linemen. You need a new offensive line coach. Get Bloomgren out of here. Bill Callahan had the same players, and that O-line was one of the best in the league with Bitonio and Teller. All of a sudden, it's the worst in the league. Literally the worst in the league. Maybe second worst to the Raiders, according to PFF, but that's where things stand. I actually didn't mind what the other running backs did when they came in. Raheem Sanders specifically. Travion Williams, a starter all of a sudden, a guy who was our preseason running back. We're just throwing guys out there now. But Sanders, when he came out, I don't know why he's been inactive most game days, because he came out there and ran that ball pretty well. He's a big, strong running back. I think he'll be a name that we should keep around, Rocket Sanders, in Cleveland. And so that's the state of things now for the run game. You might even need to get another running back here, depending on how long Judkins will be out. But it's tough, folks. I did have some positives from this game, but the Judkins injury kind of threw a wrench into that. And this is the state of things. Fannin will be a young, promising rookie for years to come, though, in Cleveland, which is exciting. He got the touchdown when Cleveland struck first. I mean, we were really in this game. It's a 3-point loss. Just lose by 3. Couldn't do enough. Judy, a no-show again. I guess the wide receiver room continues to be lacking. Yeah, get someone else. Please. 3 catches, 12 yards for Jerry Jeudy. And like I said, Shedeur led the team in rushing yards. So just unfortunate fall apart there at the end. We were right there in this football game, ladies and gentlemen. But you tell me what you thought of Shedeur's day overall. We'll get our grading scale going in the comments section. And you tell me if you would give Shedeur an A, a B, a C, or a D, or an F for his performance today against Buffalo. You let me know. Like I said, there were positives. There were picks. I'd probably give him the B minus C plus range for today. I'll give him a B minus for Sanders. A couple good things, but couldn't get the win at the end of it, and it's just hard to judge behind this Browns offensive line, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give him a B minus. You give me a grade in the comment section. Are you higher or lower than mine? Make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, because when we have more Browns injury updates, quarterback updates, who's in, who's starting, offseason coming up, you're going to want to know everything going on in this Browns mess of an organization. I got you covered with daily free videos. Hit that sub button. Appreciate you all being here with me for the game. Subscribe, and I'll see you next week.